there. I received an email that asked a really good question. It was, how do you see AI, artificial intelligence, impacting the future of grant writing? Will grant writers even be needed? Great question, and that's what we're answering in today's video. Let's go. Share with you real quick what the links were that this individual shared with me, because I thought it was really interesting. So let's look at it together. All right, so he sent this, how a Japanese artificial intelligence actually wrote a novel that nearly won a literary, I literally can't talk, prize in Japan, which is pretty amazing, right? So this was an article that, I mean, it's really fascinating, right? You would think this is the ultimate example of where creativity could not possibly be outsmarted by AI. But it's a good article, so I'll link it below if you want to read it. But what it makes its major point of is that AI performs better when partnered with humans. And I maintain that that's going to be the exact same thing that we see when we start to see more AI enter the field of grant writing. Hang tight when I give my opinion on when that'll happen. But essentially, no, you're not getting written out of the picture when it comes to creative writing. Here was another one. Pro Writing Aid put this article together in 2019. Will AI replace your writing job? And what was interesting about it is that I think there are certain writing jobs that really will actually get replaced by AI. And one of the examples was, where was it? I read this whole thing. It was talking about like financial reports that are put out every single week or day, right? Like from Wall Street. Well, yeah, you can go grab the same stats and data and just plug and play those, right? So that made a lot of sense to me. But even, and I think this was a little bit of a lot of fear mongering, like fear around you're completely useless. And so anyway, you can read the article. It's just interesting. But here's how I see it affecting grant writing, because that's what I want to get back to. A couple of things. Number one, we do know a firm that has spent a lot of venture capital money to democratize grant writing and make sure it's accessible to all these other organizations that don't have like a full-fledged grant writing army to go get these usually big complex federal grants. And they really looked at like, how is there a process that can like a software solution to help streamline this process and make it better? And what they found was, frankly, it's really manual and human still. And they ultimately kind of had to set down this notion of we can build software to streamline the grant writing process. And here's my belief when it comes to AI and grant writing. The structures in which you operate as a grant writer are still painfully slow. You are working with federal and state governments that have very clunky processes that are a long way from artificial intelligence getting involved. Also, even the foundations often that you work with, there are still applications that are submitted by paper, okay? So this is not exactly an industry that is pioneering a way forward to be super progressive. It's just not. The other thing that I would add to that is there was this other startup we got involved with. We really liked what they were doing, and she was trying to figure out, can you use standardized language and streamline creating new applications by having some of this sort of boilerplate language already in an application, so you can plug in your new grant and just like add that and massage it. And it seemed like, well, seems like a great idea. But even then, that fizzled out because it is too complicated. Every application is so nuanced. And for you to be successful, you have to answer the question exactly. So you still had to go in and do it. Yes, you might have some language you can draw on, which is great, but you still have to take that document from top to bottom and make it super tidy, right? So just wanted to emphasize that like a lot of tech VC money is going into this, and it's not really going anywhere. And that's largely because the institutional structures in which we're operating as grant writers are old school as heck. That's why we're here. We're the little modern disruptors, right? And if anyone's going to know about the role of AI entering into the world of grant writing, it'll be me, and I'll let you know. And we will figure out how to make use of that to take out the crappy, mundane parts of grant writing. Like that could be useful and helpful so that the best parts still get saved for our creative thinking and minds. All right, so that's that. If you're fearful about AI, don't let that hold you back. It's not something that's coming anytime soon for this specific industry. and this is a specialized expertise. It's why you get to charge more for it than like copywriting or whatever, right? So don't let that hold you back. With that, catch you in the next video. If you have anything else that you'd like me to cover, that was a great question, post that in the comments below and it'll inspire a future video. All right, that's it. Talk to you later.